Friends, welcome to the Word on Sunday, a platform to reflect and pray with the scripture readings of every Sunday. Are you the only visitor to Jerusalem who does not know of the things that have taken place there in these days? This was the question of the two disciples to Jesus as Jesus accompanied them on the road to Emmaus. On this third Sunday of Easter, the church gives us this splendid text from the 24th chapter of the Gospel of Luke, the journey to Emmaus. A young boy was playing left field in a little league game when a man yelled over the fence, "Hey son, who is winning?" The little boy replied, "We are." "What's the score?" "They have 23, we have 0. "They have you 23 to 0? The man was confused. "I thought you said you were winning." "Oh, we are," explained the little boy. "You see, we haven't come to bat yet." It was easy for the disciples to quit. The one in whom they had placed their hopes was dead. It was literally 23 to nothing in their life that Easter morning. But the risen Christ does not want us to lose. As the two disciples looked downcast, moving away from Jerusalem, Jesus accompanies them. This 24th chapter in the Gospel of Luke could be rightly called as the Mass on the go, as it contains the two parts, the liturgy of the Word and the liturgy of the Eucharist. New Testament scripture scholar N.T. Wright calls the 24th chapter of the Gospel of Luke as a masterpiece within a masterpiece. Because this splendid accompaniment of Jesus with the two disciples on the road to Emmaus contains so many intricate details that you and I and all of us as the church experience, and just when we want to give up and just go back to our old ways of life, the risen Christ accompanies us with the word and with the bread, gives us the impetus to go forward on a mission. Jerusalem was the epicenter for the passion, death, and resurrection of Jesus. It is the crux. It is the center point of all that Jesus was experiencing. But notice how Jesus, towards the end of the gospel, vanishes from their sight. Famous theologian Hans Balthasar says, quote, "Jesus vanished from their sight" refers to Jesus went on a mission. The two disciples were going west of Jerusalem, 7 miles away from Jerusalem. Going west is a symbolism of the sunset, going into darkness, disappointment, disgusted, looking downcast. It is Jesus who meets them on the road. It is quite possible that we go back to our old ways of life, but the risen Christ encounters us and sets our hearts on fire. And Jesus does this with two important details of our faith. He opens the scriptures and he breaks the bread. The two disciples, one is named as Cleopas and the other one is unnamed. That unnamed disciple could be you and me, who is downcast. But when Jesus opens the scriptures and breaks the bread, they say, "Stay with us, Lord, in the darkness of our life, in the disappointments that we face, in the disillusionment that we have. Stay with us, Lord." Then once Jesus stayed with them, once he opened the scriptures to them, he broke the bread for them and with them, their hearts were set on fire. And they exclaimed, "Were not our hearts burning within us while he opened the scriptures to us and broke the bread for us?" Do we burn within when we listen to the scriptures? Do we tell Jesus, stay with us, Lord, because we are moving in the direction of darkness? The day is almost done. We don't want to be in Jerusalem. Eucharist and resurrection are deeply connected. The resurrected Jesus breaks the bread for us. And this is literally the primacy of grace, the prima gratia. The eagerness of the risen Christ to embrace us, because just when we want to go away from Jerusalem and just when we want to go back to our old ways of life, the risen Christ accompanies us. This is the Eucharistic movement. The liturgy of the Word flows into the liturgy of the Eucharist. And this is what we heard in the first reading. The words of Jesus become a reality on the road to Emmaus, as we hear from the first reading, quoting David. I saw the Lord ever before me. He is on my right hand. I shall not be disturbed. My heart has been glad. My tongue is exulting, because Jesus will not abandon my soul to the nether world, and nor he will set the Holy One to see corruption. You have made known to me the paths of life, and you fill me with joy in your presence. What David said is now a reality with the life of these two disciples who were on the brink of disappointment, disillusionment, and downcast. Jesus accompanies them on the way and gives them the word. The Eucharist sets their hearts on fire and sends them out on a mission. The risen Christ sets our hearts on fire and empowers us to be on the mission. The risen Christ does not want to just give up. Just when we want to give up, just when we feel to give up and go back to our old ways of life, the risen Christ accompanies us, feeds us with the Word, and the Eucharist sets our hearts on fire and sends us out on a mission. Are we ready to tell Jesus to stay with us at a moment when you and I want to give up? Because the risen Christ is our hope. The risen Christ is the Eucharist. The risen Christ is the Word open to us. May we be staying tuned to the promptings of the risen Christ, accompanying us even in the thickness of disappointment, discouragement, disillusionment, and being downcast. Father Praveen Lakkisetti, here at St. Pius X Catholic Church in San Antonio, Texas. Thank you and God bless.